I'll give you an example of one of the reports. Under the printer reports, I'm going to generate a summary of all printers. And when I click on that report, what it's going to ask me for is a date range. And I'm going to specify the date range I would like to see is going to be January 1st, 2009 to October 20th, 2009. And now I have a summary of every single printer. And what that includes is the printer name, the total jobs sent to that printer, how many color pages, how many black and white pages, how many sheets of paper, which is a piece of paper, and how many pages, which is a side of a piece of paper, and the total job cost of all the jobs that were sent to that printer. Now, if I'm interested in the details about what that printer has printed, I don't have to go back and generate a detailed history for that printer. I can simply double-click on the item in the report, and it will open up a detailed history for that item. And this is a two-line entry, which includes the username, the printer that was printed to, was the job in duplex mode, was it color, what was the page size, how many pages, how many copies, what was the total page count, and what was the total cost of the job, including the date and the time and the document title. And I can take any one of these reports and hit my export option, and I can export this to just about any format that I would ever need. PDF, Crystal Reports format, which I can export to Crystal Reports format, edit with Crystal Reports, create my own custom report, put it back in the Print Manager Plus directory, and start using it as a custom report. HTML, Excel, Word, ODBC, if I'm going to send it to another database, all the way down to CSV, text, or XML, just about any format that you would ever need. Or I could simply click the print option and print my report. Going back to the management settings of users or user groups, typically in an academic environment, you would be dealing with a group of users, perhaps called faculty or students. And to give you an idea of how simple it is to implement a quota system, if that's what is needed, I can simply grab the group called students, select limit by account balance, put in a system of $15, and I may increase that balance by $15 monthly, every month on the first day at, let's say, 3 a.m. So with this type of system, any user that belongs to the students group would have $15 worth of printing every month, and it would roll over and accumulate whatever was not used the prior month, or I can set that to reset balance to $15, and that would mean that any user that belongs to this group has $15 worth of printing per month, whether they use it or not. And if I click OK, that is going to ask me, do I want to apply this to current users? And I'm going to say yes. If I move over to the Users tab now, you'll see that a bunch of my users have gone from no account now to having an account balance. I can sort this window by account balance, and you'll see any user that belongs to the students group now has a $15 limit monthly to reset to $15 every month on the first of the month. In Print Manager Plus, there are also many restrictions that can be enforced, and the restrictions are designed to cut out wasteful printing, avoid accidental printing, and also to promote better printing habits. And these restrictions are available by individual user, by user group, by organizational unit, or by printer. And with a mix of that, you can get to wherever you want to go with implementing these restrictions. For instance, I can deny printing for any job over 100 pages for any user that belongs to the students group. And with most print management packages, a restriction is exactly that. That means they cannot print anything more than that. But Print Manager Plus gives you several options as far as any restriction being met. I'm going to click on Configure Print Manager Actions, and there is a tab here for each restriction and account balance. I'm going to go to the Page Count Exceeded tab, and this is the restriction I'm dealing with right now. Now I have three options. I can delete the job and send a pop-up message back to the user letting them know why it was deleted, or I can pause the print job and send a pop-up message back to the user letting them know what they need to do to have that job released. That might be set up for administrator override, or it might be set up to where you're going to require the user to go to the printer location to re-authenticate the job before it actually prints. So nothing prints until the user is standing right there. Or I can verify the job, and that will send a pop-up message back to the user giving them all the details about the job, including the total page count and total cost, and how that job is going to affect their account balance if you are in fact using a quota system, and give the user the option to print or cancel on a final verification. So for every restriction, we give you 3 options as far as what do you want Print Manager Plus to do in the event that this restriction is met. The next restriction down is deny printing if the document size is greater than so many bytes, kilobytes, or megabytes. If you have a problem with somebody sending 4 and 5 gigabyte files through your print server, you can eliminate that immediately. Deny printing based on the document title. This restriction will do a keyword search of the document title and either allow or not allow the print job based on what it finds. In the event that the user is printing from a browser on the internet, we'll use the entire URL of the web page that the user is on and either allow or not allow the job based on what it finds. So with that in mind, I can do things like no printing from eharmony.com and maybe no printing from mapquest.com. And that's using the internet as an example. If I don't want people printing PowerPoint presentations, I can simply put PPT or JPEGs. Now this can work as a deny printing if the print job title contains, or it can work as only allow printing if the print job title contains. Knowing that, I can set that to only allow printing if the job title contains .doc would allow from Microsoft Word, .xls would allow from Excel, and maybe I want to allow printing from the school's website. Whatever the URL of the school would be, the common URL, that would be found in the document title. Anywhere they are on the school's website, they would be allowed to print. Outside of these parameters, they would not be allowed to print. But again, you have the options of delete, pause, or require verification. Deny printing if the print job is color is a way to have a color printer available for a whole bunch of people to use, but now you can actually control who can print in color to it and who cannot print in color to it. And the printer manufacturer does not give you that option in the driver, and Windows does not give you that as a security option within the Windows Print subsystem. Now you can control who can print in color to it and who cannot print in color to it. This restriction is also very successful as far as a verify, and if I go to color restrictions, I might send a pop-up message back to the user on a verify feature saying this job will print in color. Please confirm below that you do want to print this job in color. If printed in black and white, it would be only 4 cents per page. And that would display in the pop-up that the user would receive asking them if they want to print or cancel. And remember, right above this text that would be displayed would show all the details and what the actual per page cost will be if they do in fact click print. The next restriction down is deny printing if the print job is black and white, and this is a restriction that we will very commonly place on color printers, especially high-end color printers. What a lot of people don't realize is that many printers today actually use color to generate the color black, and it is less expensive to print a black and white job on a black and white printer. Next restriction is enable date and time restrictions. And this way I can say users belong to this group, can print Monday through Friday. If they come in on the weekends, they cannot print. And again, I can place this restriction or any of these on an actual print queue if I only wanted it on one.